Hi, I'm Mark from Max Mobility, and I want to introduce you to the amazing SmartDrive Power Assist. It's surprisingly powerful, intuitive to use, lightweight, and easy to install. It'll change your life. Let's take a closer look. While the SmartDrive can be mounted to almost any wheelchair, including folding frame chairs, the preferred wheelchair is a rigid frame chair with enough space under the seat to comfortably fit the battery. If you don't have this type of chair, you might consider getting one as your next chair, since it will help you get the most out of your SmartDrive. The SmartDrive is ultra portable, and it's very easy to take off and put on. This way you can choose when to put it on and when to leave it off, depending on where you'll be pushing. First, we'll unplug the drive unit from the battery. So unplug by just pulling off. Next, you lift up on the drive unit and it will come off the hitch. Simple. Spin it back around, you unplug the buttons from the front of the battery. You then remove the battery by grabbing the front and simply sliding it out. This is a next generation lithium-ion battery. It takes less than 5 hours to charge, and you'll likely go several days on a single charge. However, this battery has no memory, so you can feel free to charge it every night with no problem. And this battery will likely last over 5 years in the field. All right, so let's put it back on. So first, there's a little hole on the back of the battery. You take the plug, push and rotate. That holds this plug in place so that when you lift on the handle to gap this tongue, line the tongue up between the cushion and the seat and slide it on, everything stays tight and configured. You then plug the buttons into the front of the battery, spin the chair around, grab your drive unit. Usually you lift from the rear of the handle. That makes the drive unit look level. You then line it up and drop it on the hitch and rotate it into place. It's now securely there. The SmartDrive is not an anti-tip, so it allows your chair to rotate, do wheelies. You reach up, you grab the plug, you find the white arrows and line them up towards the front of the drive, align it, push down. Once you've plugged it in, you get a green light that says you're ready to go. Next, let's talk about how the buttons work. There are 2 buttons, one on each side of the chair. Each button has the same function. There are 2 of them, so you can access either one, depending on which hand is free. Each button has a large, highly sensitive switch and a green status light. The light tells you whether the SmartDrive is on or off, and which mode it's in, and the battery level. It's very important that you can see the lights. If your cushion hangs over them and blocks the light, you may need to get a different cushion. It's also very important that you can easily access the buttons while you're using your chair. The button straps can pass underneath the seat rail to get them as close as possible to your hands. We recommend this type of wheel lock because it doesn't compete for space with the SmartDrive buttons. Some wheel locks have upright handles and that can block access to the buttons. In that case, you may need to move the buttons forward so they're not blocked by the brake handle. To turn the SmartDrive on, press and hold either button for 1 second. The buttons are highly sensitive, so it does not take much force to hold it down. The light will come on and you'll hear a single short beep to know it's on. Once it's on, you can switch between modes by pressing a button. There are 2 modes, indoor mode and outdoor mode. When you press a button to change modes, you do not need to hold it down, just press and release it right away. If you continue to hold it for 1 second, it will turn the SmartDrive off. The default mode when you turn it on is the indoor mode, and the light will be solid. When you change to outdoor mode, the light will blink and you will hear a long single beep. To change back to indoor mode, just press and release the button. You'll hear a short single beep and the light will go solid. You can freely alternate between indoor and outdoor modes by repeatedly pressing the button. You need to be comfortable changing modes and checking what mode you're in regularly so that you're prepared to safely use the SmartDrive in whatever environment you're in. As I mentioned, to turn off the SmartDrive, just press and hold for 1 second. The light will go off, you'll hear 2 short beeps. Once off, the SmartDrive will be passively following you around. The wheel has no rolling resistance, so you can freely push without it affecting your mobility. So in indoor mode, you push the chair to go, and you push the button to stop. The SmartDrive works like a cruise control. If you push slow, it'll go slow. If you push fast, it'll go fast. Let's try it out. So, push slow, the motor turns on, and it drives at that speed until you press the button to turn off the motor. And again, push fast, and it will go fast. You can also build up speed, start slow, and work your way faster. You just need to leave a little bit of time for the SmartDrive to get to each speed before you take your next push. So in this case, we can push slowly, get it going slowly, then push faster, and it'll go faster. So you can work your way from slow to fast speeds very easily. In indoor mode, you can also stop the motor by braking on the hand rims. So this is done by resisting the motor and slowing your chair down by about 10% of your speed. It's very simple and very natural to do. So give it a push to go. The motor's turning. Now I'm going to grip my hand rims and simply slow down the chair to turn it off. Again, pushing to go. Now I'm going to braking on the hand rims to turn the motor off. Outdoor mode is just like indoor mode, except you must press a button to stop the motor. It will not stop no matter how hard you try. This latching on feature allows you to turn sharply, cruise up hills, and power down sidewalks without the motor stopping and having to push to get going again. So let's take a look. So outdoor mode, blinking light, push to go, motor turns on. You cannot stop it by braking unless you press the button to turn off the motor. Again, it makes it very useful for being able to turn sharply and go on ramps without the motor turning off. Because you need to press a button to stop the SmartDrive, it's very important that you can quickly find and press one. To make sure you can do this, it's a good idea to reach out while you're cruising and feel the outer edges of the buttons. This will remind you where they are and make it second nature to reach out and press one in case of an emergency. Crashing your wheelchair can result in serious injuries to yourself and others. To prevent accidents, practice conservative driving. Choose to press a button and stop the motor whenever approaching an uncertain situation or environment. It's always better to be safe than sorry. By making careful driving choices, the SmartDrive will greatly enhance your mobility and give you the freedom to go further than you've ever gone before.